Salt Lake City. There is one more game to be played, at the very least, in this series, and it'll be on the home court Tuesday when Houston will be in a celebratory mood. But be clear about this, the Utah Jazz are no longer the barrier between the Rockets and the goal. They're just standing in the way. There's a difference. Getting rid of the overmatched yet naggingly persistent Jazz is all about keeping pace with the Golden State Warriors, or perhaps staying one step ahead of the defending champs, nothing more or less. A long-anticipated Western Conference Finals, and perhaps a classic one, is impatiently waiting. And it's in the Rockets' best interest to settle their end of the bargain and, if possible, on the same night when the Warriors can do the same. And so, just a few hours after the Warriors went up 3-1 on the New Orleans Pelicans in the Other West semifinal, the Rockets did likewise Sunday, using star power to overcome an otherwise blah performance. They only scored 100 points, a level that will certainly rise in the next round. Quite simply, they had James Harden, Chris Paul and Clint Capella when it counted, and Utah did not. And speaking of Paul, he's one win away from advancing to the West Finals for the first time in his otherwise respectable career. His anxiousness to kill that annoying demon was evident in the third quarter of Game 4, when he scored 11 of his 27 points while drilling the Jazz with mid-range jumpers, and the game flipped in Houston's favor. "I've been here before, 3-1, said Paul on post-game TV, his memory still sharp from blowing that lead while with the Clippers 4 years ago, coincidentally against Harden and the Rockets. Expletive went bad real quick. It also happened to be Paul's birthday, and what more can a 33-year-old do to demonstrate that age is merely a number? He was really big today," Rockets coach Mike D'Antoni said. "I understand he has another birthday coming up Tuesday." It was a surreal night for Paul as well. While he was busy erasing the Jazz, his brother, C.J. Paul, was being momentarily erased from the arena. C.J. Paul, who handles much of his brother's personal affairs, was escorted from his lower-level seat by arena security in the third quarter for shouting at referee James Williams. He was allowed back to his seat moments later and claimed to be a victim of mistaken identity. "They thought I said something that shouldn't be printed," said CJ, right after he took a post-game phone call from Kiki Vandeweghe, the NBA's executive vice president of basketball operations. "Actually, it was a fan sitting next to me. I addressed the fan who said it. I told security what happened. After they left me back in, the security guy said, 'By the way, James said it was definitely you that said that. He didn't see you, but he heard you.' "What, you mean out of 20,000 people? What's crazy is James reffed me when I was in college." C.J. Paul, who has never missed any of his brother's playoff games, didn't miss much during his brief departure in this one, either. The Rockets stayed in control, save for some teases by the Jazz, and this is where they stand, right on the cusp, right with the Warriors suddenly swelling in their windshield. Remember, the Rockets built their team and their season around overcoming the Warriors. It is why they added Paul last summer. It's why Harden tweaked his isolation-dominant game to accommodate Paul. And it's also why the rise of Capella is raising the possibility of Houston bringing a new Big Three in Golden State's direction. That Houston won another game despite a toned-down offense and a vanishing three-point shot. They made just 26% Sunday and in the last 3 games are at 29%, is either an impressive or troublesome trend depending on your hot take. D'Antoni is playing up the former. "We haven't shot well the whole series," he said. "But there's all different ways to win. We're not strictly a jump-shooting team. Chris has got the mid-range. James gets to the hole. You've got Clint down there. We've got a lot of other stuff we can go to." The whole plan was to get that so we wouldn't be a one-dimensional team. We'll get to 100. D'Antoni added, anyway, if we do our part defensively, we have a real good shot to win.